Do I keep trying to work on my relationship with my boyfriend or call it quits and move out? Using a new throwaway account because my boyfriend knows about my main and I don't want this getting back to him. I have been in a relationship with my boyfriend for 4 years and we have been living together for 2 years. During the pandemic and while I was still in school we were still trying to get to know each other and I thought things were good. Didn't really go on dates but he would hang out at my house all the time, smoke, I would cook dinner for him, watch movies, etc. The first event to give me inclination that maybe something was wrong when he experienced the death of an animal, which he then blamed on me, yelled at me for, and just gave me the silent treatment for the longest time. I thought his reactions were strange/over-exaggerate and the fact that he was blaming me for the death of his animal in general was strange when I didn't do anything to the animal. In fact, he was upset because I wasn't taking care of it even though it was his pet. I was so confused why he was mad at me for not taking care of his pet when it was his pet and his responsibility. We never arranged/discussed ever for me to take care of it. Either way, months later I moved in. He lost his job soon after and I started covering 100% of rent instead of 50% as well as any other bills, groceries, phone bills, travel/transportation, utilities, smoke, Wi-Fi, his pets' bills, additional pets, and whatever else he needed/requested. This was fine with me while my income isn't too high. I had enough to cover us both for a while. Now a couple years later he has had 2 other jobs but gets let go after 2 to 4 months and I am going into debit. He says it's fine and that is what a credit card is for, but I'm not so sure. He says money is for spending. What else am I going to do with it? Just let it sit in my bank account? Either way he almost never leaves me alone and is always home. Except this weekend he is going to be out of town. I have friends ready to help me move if I want to but I'm not sure. I feel like I'm selfish for moving out on him. He always telling me I can't do better than him, which makes me question if I am being rational. While monetary support is important, I don't want to be someone clouded by just this. I should also add, I do all the cooking, laundry, grocery shopping, dishes, until literally 1 month ago he started helping with the dishes because I kept begging him to, and the cleaning. He will clean up after himself though 60% of the time though after the mess has been sitting around for long enough, i.e. clean up his dog's accidents, clean his animals' tanks, pick up/organize his clutter on the counter, sweep up after he makes a mess on the floor. However, I still don't want to be clouded by this list because I understand in the grand scheme of things these types of things don't really matter and that he has the ability to do these things as well. What bothers me the most is the lack of emotional support and love. Often if I do something wrong, i.e. forgot $15 worth of groceries in the rental car, walk him home when he's super drunk but he still wants to stay out, question him on an expensive and possibly unnecessary purchase, he blows up in an extreme way. Often resulting in 2 to 4 hours of intensive screaming and name-calling from him. He says this is the only way to get me to listen and that I just cannot handle honesty. However, I feel when I try to speak with him during these times what I say is really on one ear and out the other, and it's like talking to a screaming brick wall that will never try to understand me. While these fights don't happen often, maybe once a month, they still make me feel terrible and I can't get them out of my head no matter what I try. He never puts his hands on me besides for the mild slap once in a while, and last weekend he did push me down on the sidewalk. But he said that was my fault because I brought it on myself and he was also intoxicated and couldn't control himself. He says anything negative that happens in the relationship, fighting, is my fault and it's all me. Is this true? Should I just stay in this relationship and work on making myself a better person, less controlling, less considerate about him cheating, just focus on making him happy? Or should I take advantage of him being gone this weekend and move out? I'm worried that I'm going to regret it and I am overreacting, and he really is a good/normal guy and this is just how guys are and I just need to suck it up if I want a relationship. Obviously he has nice qualities as well that I probably didn't highlight too well. Handsome, funny, smart, supportive, good with animals. What I want from a relationship is someone who is supportive and makes me feel special and safe to have conversations, respects my job, helps out around the house and with life, chores, listening to me, etc., remembers my birthday, go out on a date a few times a year, tries out my interests, etc., respects women, etc. Are these requests too much? So wondering, should I move out or stay? Comment. Good Lord, this absolutely not what most relationships are like. You're describing a complete nightmare of emotional abuse. It's like you're looking at a pile of vomit and asking if this is what most people eat for dinner. None of this is normal or okay. You're supposed to leave people who treat you like this. Follow your instinct and get the fuck away from this person as fast as you can. You can't think of a reason to stay because there literally is not one. You can do this. Your life is about to get so much better. If you don't leave, this is what the rest of your life is going to be like. Imagine throwing away all the best years of your life on someone who does nothing but use you up, and for all your devotion and effort you just get insulted. You'll grow old without ever getting to live your own life, let alone experiencing the rewarding joy of having an emotionally supportive, loving partner. You know what to do. Next story 2. I'm atheist, my GF is Christian and she disrespected me. So me and my girlfriend have been dating for 2 or 3 months now. We have known each other for a long time and hung out once or twice, and I asked her out and we decided to start dating. She is Christian and I'm atheist, but we have been making it work because we have very similar values and ideas of our roles, and we have been able to on multiple occasions disagree on stuff and still work things out. We have been able to do this sort of thing, and she is very cautious, so she wants to take things slow, and I'm more than happy to go along with that. However, since we have a few disagreements as far as fundamentals, I think that when we get there we should let it happen naturally, because she has displayed interest and initiative towards being that way with me before, but she's later backtracked on it, saying she doesn't like being that way because it's impure. The only thing is I want to wait to marry her until it's a good time and I have the security it takes, as I would love to commit to her that way. It's just the only issue is that I would like some sort of compromise. I talked to her about it and she was very clear about her not wanting absolutely anything of the sort until marriage, and even then it's not something she's particularly looking forward to because she thinks it's gross because it's self-serving, whereas I view it was a form of intimacy between us and it's normal and natural, and I trust her enough to be that way with her. I'm not sure if that's something I want to do, as obviously people have needs and I want us both to get what we need. The other issue is more recent, as we were talking about religion vs non-religion, and it started off fine, but as time went on I guess she just got agitated or something, and she just went from her usual sweet respectful self and said some derogatory things about what I want in life, even though it's stuff that everyone wants in life. It's not about what she said, it's about the fact she said those things with the intention to hurt me. I told her I would go to bed and let her think about what she just said, and she did not seem apologetic, and we haven't talked since. I won't tolerate that kind of behavior if she doesn't apologize, because if you get mad and make a mistake, it happens, but if she goes out of her way to try to hurt me like that and won't apologize, it's different. I'm mainly wondering what to do because I really like this girl and I haven't met anyone who puts the amount of effort into a relationship or herself like she does, and I would love to spend my life with her if we get past our issues, but I feel that would require compromise that she's not willing to make. I haven't met anyone like her before or since, and I especially don't find a lot of people like her in my area. She feels like such a rare find. I would be stupid not to fight to keep her in my corner, but I just don't know exactly what to do. What do you think? Is there a way to compromise about things? Is it better we just break up? Will a relationship with two different very similar ideologies work out? Should I just stick it out even though it would be a bit miserable in some ways? Comment. You and this person aren't a suitable match for dating. You're teenagers, so obviously not ready to even be thinking about marriage either. It's just a fact that if her faith is important to her and your lack of faith is important to you, this is never going to work out long term. You can keep fighting this for as long as you want to. You're just never going to have a happy life together. If the actual compromise you suggested is do it when we're both comfortable, then wouldn't you be back at the drawing board? Also, in relationships and marriage, compromise is important. More so, communication. What has she told you? What have you specifically said that might have gotten a disrespectful response? I would tell her this. Ask her if the relationship is still something she wants, and if so, that boundary needs to be set. She's allowed to mess up, but not abuse your help during her weaknesses to test the waters. Also, I'm a Christian woman, so if she finds out some stranger on the internet told you this, just tell her, your sister in Christ sent this message, winky face, help ya avoid some heat, haha. Also, it may help by not approaching the conversation with, can I have an apology, and directly call it disrespect. It may come across as accusatory. She will likely feel ruffled having to face her hypocrisy as is. I worry that might make her respond poorly. Perhaps try an approach like, I'm sorry I didn't communicate this sooner, but I think this would be the better solution for us in the meantime that is fair for both parties. Usually if you apologize first and come across as approachable, people will apologize in turn without having to be prompted. This has worked for my husband and I. Christian with atheist friends here. It's hard to deal with the religion/non-religion issue without making it a proxy for who's the smartest person in the room. Reason being that both sides see the other as fundamentally irrational, without a lot of conversation. So if this relationship persists, prepare to be very patient.